Good evening. Welcome to Bossed Up Academy, where we give you your stimulus updates, real estate investing updates, as well as your business in general coaching. Please be sure to like and share this video. We're going to talk about a really hot topic tonight, and that is how to get a SBA EIDL loan without a LLC. And if you missed out on PPP because you were listening to people that didn't know anything about anything, then guess what? You don't want to miss this opportunity to get up to $2 million by listening to people who know nothing about nothing. We're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're going to talk about tonight how to get a SBA loan. Remember to drop your questions. No question is a stupid question. It might be a question that can help somebody else, and that you may want to get answered, and somebody else is just too afraid to ask the question. So to help push the conversation along, please do drop your questions as they come to mind, and don't wait to the end. Well, I want to talk to you about how to get an SBA loan under your Social Security number. You do not have to have a business, quote unquote, as long as you are a gig worker. That means that you might get paid in cash. You might be getting paid under the table. You could be driving for Uber. You could be a stripper. You can do hair in the kitchen of your house. You could be selling plates out of the kitchen of your house. Anything, but as long as you file your taxes, your Schedule C, and that makes you what they call a sole proprietor. A sole proprietor is a person who can work either under an LLC or they can opt to work under their personal name and Social Security number. You could even have a business name. You can do Erica's Boutique, but I can be working under a DBA. That means doing business as. So it does not matter. If you look on the application for the SBA, it has SSN/EIN. Well, the SSN stands for Social Security number. You can apply directly under your Social Security number. Now, what's going to jam people up now? If you're trying to commit fraud, that's a whole different animal. But if you do have a Schedule C for any reason, like I said, you can be a booth renter in a shop. You don't have to own your own shop. You could be renting a booth from the person who owns the shop. But guess what? You file a Schedule C. You can drive for Uber. Uber is going to send you a 1099 at the end of the year. That's just like now what's been in question with Cash App going to send people 1099s. Why? Because they are independent contractors. How long does it take to get approved for SBA? Well, some people are stuck in consideration, so it could take a while, and it depends on how readily available your IRS transcript is for them to get it to verify that you did file a Schedule C. So some people can get funded within 2 weeks. Some people it's taking a little bit longer just because they may be having the government may be having a hard time getting their transcript. So that's the biggest thing that's going to cause a delay. And that's why I did another video on, now they're allowing you to do the 2017s, the 2018s, the 2019s to determine your eligibility. As long as your business started before January of 2020. That means prior to the pandemic, because they want to set you back to pre-pandemic numbers. So if you had a sucky year, and they're going off of your gross income minus the cost of goods. We got another question here. Thank you so much, Zida. What's the interest on those loans? These loans right now are at 3.75% interest, no prepayment penalty. And guess what? There are people on the internet that are contacting your representatives and your senators, and that's going to senate.gov, house.gov, and they are complaining, saying that they want this loan to be just like PPP. And with the upcoming midterm elections, do you think that some of these senators and representatives are going to try to please their constituents? Probably so. So that's why now they're not even taking payments on these loans. And if you take out a loan right now, they're giving you a waiver. They're deferring your payments for 18 months. That's why the people that took the loans last year, they deferred their payments for 24 months. And this is not, the Bible, but this is the reason that I'm hearing this behind it, is because they don't know what they're going to do with the loans. So if they don't forgive them or they reduce the interest rate, guess what? You would have missed out on an opportunity of a lifetime where you didn't have to present a business plan. You did not, or you only had to have a 570 is your mental score. And even if they deny you because of credit, you can file a reconsideration to ask for it to be reconsidered for your business. So, and then also, where are you going to get a loan for 3.75 for 30 years? People's payments on $150,000 is $700. So could you not pay, and you got 18 months before you start paying on it? That is a very good reason of why you should take this money if you're eligible. Now we've got another question. Another question is, why do they need a schedule of liabilities? They want to know how much debt is your business already in, because they want you to be able to pay those people as well as your current. But the good caveat to this is, now that they got the schedule of liabilities and they have expanded the uses of the loans, you actually can basically use their money to refinance these higher interest loans. If you got a loan, say 16% on a line of credit, or you got some people use vehicles where you got a vehicle loan for 10%. So they need the schedule of liability because they wanted us to determine how much debt is your business in. Also, what they're going to file is called a UCC. That's in a previous video where they charged a $100 filing fee for that, because they want to know exactly how healthy is your business financially. That's why they need that schedule of liabilities. They want to know who all do you owe, because a business can owe people money and it not be on their reporting, because not all people report that issue loans to businesses. And some businesses the owners are the personal guarantee of the loan. So some of those liabilities may be in the owner's personal name. So they want to know how financially strong they are. Will it determine if you get approved or not? No, it does not. The amount that they want to approve you for is based on 24 months of working capital. That means your gross minus your cost of goods. If you file a Schedule C, you're going to look at line 7 and multiply that by 2, and that's how much money that you're eligible for. Because the monthly payments are so low, then unless you just in a whole lot of debt and you have no and you don't plan to refinance any of those things, because now, like I said, they've expanded the uses of this money. So actually you could turn all that debt around for you by refinancing it. Good questions though. Thank you, Josh, for tuning in and pushing this conversation forward. Again, don't listen to people who know nothing about nothing. You can use your social security number to file for the SBA loan. And if you're not interested in the loan, some people are, oh, I don't want to get a loan. I don't want to get a loan. Well, you have to file the application for the loan in order to apply for the grant. And right now, the grant is, and that's in another video that we did previously, where you can look on the map to see if your business address, which could be from your home address, is eligible for the $10,000 to up to $15,000 grant. The $15,000 is based on the additional $5,000 is based on if you had a 50% loss, and the $10,000 is based on if you had a 30% loss between pre-pandemic and post-pandemic. And so that's a separate application, but they're not going to send you the invitation for those grants until you fill out the main application for the loan, because the grant was initially set up to bridge you until you get your funds, to give you some money to hold you over for operating until you can get your actual loan. So make sure that you're giving them everything that they need. Because it sounds like, Josh, you might already have a application in and they're asking for some more documentation. So it's not unusual for them to ask for your scheduled liabilities, for you to have had a meeting with your quote unquote board to give you permission, especially if you're applying for these funds as an entity rather than a sole proprietor under your personal name, to say that you can sign for these funds on behalf of the entity. They are asking you for those things, as well as that transcript. And remember that you can always file a reconsideration if you've been denied. You can ask for an increase if you got the first round, but you haven't gotten the second round now. Then I would apply for the increase and they will give you the maximum. So the maximum is going to be your ×2 of your gross. So if you got 100,000 and that makes it for 2 years, then that puts you at 200,000 for your maximum loan. But if they gave you 150,000 the first time, then they're only going to give you 50,000 this time, because then they're going to max you out at your 24 months, because originally they gave you 6 months worth of working capital. So in your increase, they're going to give you an additional 18 months. So that's where your difference is going to be between your first and your second draw. Now, if this is your first time ever applying, then you have until the end of this month to get your application in. They still will be issuing loans after the end of this month. They just won't be taking new applications as of yet. So you want to get your initial application in prior to the end of the year. So then that way you can be in queue and process to get funding. We got another question. I applied for both and they're asking for documents, which I provided for reconsideration. How long is the reconsideration process? It all depends on your loan officer. We did do another video on how to escalate it. I would not use the escalation unless you have been waiting for at a minimum of 6 weeks for the reconsideration. Because it's kind of like a one-shot deal, where if you're going to get your senator or your House of representative involved, then I would only use them one time. And I put the form up for South Carolina in a previous video. So you can just go back through my videos and look, and you can escalate that by using your senator's office if you have been waiting a minimum of 6 weeks. I wouldn't do it prematurely before the 6 weeks, because you don't want to abuse that process. But if you're some people that's been stuck for like 6 months, I would definitely do the authorization form, giving them permission to talk to that gives your senator or whatever representative you get the form from, it gives them permission to actually talk to the SBA on your behalf. And once they know that a senator or politician is involved and it kind of, is involved with the situation, they have been reaching out to people in a minimum of 14 days or less to get them some updates. Now, will they be approved? No, but they will have a loan officer assigned and somebody responding to you once that is done. They have plenty of funds, so it's not like PPP. They're not about to run out anytime soon, but I would just not take my chances. I would get my application in sooner than later. So like I said, as long as you got your application in before the end of the year, it can still be processed if you're in reconsideration. Because you had your application, your original application was before the end of the year, they still are going to be processing applications after the first of the year, but I just would not wait until, the last minute or get stuck in more backlog. You are quite welcome, Zyda. Let me know if you have any other questions. Like I said, ask all the questions you can. That's what it's here for. That's why I'm here to answer these questions on live. And it also pushes the conversation forward because I get a lot of these questions in my inbox that I'm not able to answer without scheduling a call with you. So it's easier for me to answer these questions at one time during my lives. And that's why I've opted only to take questions during my live unless you set up a individual mini coaching session for 8 to 10 minutes, which I usually send people out the link for that if you got individualized questions. But like I said, no question is a stupid question. A lot of times it's a lot of the same questions from different people. A lot of people want to know these things, but just are too afraid to ask. So I do applaud Josh and Zyda tonight for posting your questions here on the forum so that people can respond. Make sure that you like and share this video, and you could be saving a small business. You can be saving a sole proprietor from being hungry or getting funds that they actually need. So again, if you're an Uber driver, if you get paid under the table, but you do file a tax return, if you rent a booth at a hair salon, at a barbershop, if you're a stripper, it does not matter. As long as you got a Schedule C, which is a profit and loss, on your tax return, you are good to go. Like I said, that application calls for SSN, which means Social Security number. Don't let these people tell you, because they are detecting if you go out here and start an LLC, but you really did have a valid Schedule C. You do not want to get flagged for fraud because you're listening to people who know nothing about nothing and went and set up a LLC, and they went on the Secretary of State and saw that you set up a LLC in 2021, and then you gave them a tax return that had your personal name on it with a Schedule C for 2019. It's just not going to look good. You can apply in your personal name. Do not let people make you feel like you don't have a legitimate business just because you don't have LLC. There's all different types. If you look on that 4506T, there's all different types. There's limited partnerships. There's sole proprietor. There are different. There's S corporation, C corporation. There are so many different types of entities besides a LLC. Do not get caught up in this whole LLC drama that people try to create. So if you have a Schedule C, apply under your personal name with your personal Social Security number. As long as they are able to get that transcript from the government, guess what? It doesn't matter what people say, what list they might put your name on. But guess what? They can't talk about you because you don't have any money, because you got your money that you were entitled to. And a lot of people came up at the last little bit of PPP because they really did not understand, and they were shorted money that should have been theirs. I mean, some people shorted themselves of a free almost $42,000, $20,833, 2 rounds of it. I mean, you lost it because you're listening to people who know nothing about nothing, or they're trying to shame you into something because they're not eligible. So you got to listen to people who know. Do your research for yourself. I'm not even telling you to listen to me. The SBA has a frequently asked questions section. Go in there. You can call them on the phone and ask them, are you going to lock me up? Or you can call as anonymous caller, *67, and call them blocked if you want to and ask them questions. Just don't be out here listening to people, like I said, that know nothing about nothing. Thank you, Shalithia. And thank you, Cody, for tuning in. Again, get your money, get paid. This is your time to turn this pandemic into a bandemic, and the government is giving you an opportunity of a lifetime. Do not let it get away from you by listening to people who know nothing about nothing. If you haven't done your application, do it before the end of the year so that, thank you, Roslyn, for tuning in. I can't stress this enough. Get it. Let the SBA tell you can't get the money. They're going to check your transcript, and they're going to tell you if you deny. They're going to send you a letter, and they're going to tell you why you deny. And another thing, I can't stress this enough to people. Read your denial letter. If you've been denied, read your denial letter. I've had so many people tell me, I know it was my credit. You get their letter. They said they wasn't able to verify their business. Guess what? All you got to do is send them a license, your hair license. You can send them, if you had your LLC set up for a while, you can send them your good standing letter from the Secretary of State. You can send them if you cook food out your house, but you got a business license to do it. You can send them your business license. If you got a Google pen on Google, print that out and send it to them. Don't assume anything. I've seen so many people say, I got denied because of my credit, and then they didn't even read the denial letter. There are many reasons for you to get denied. Some of them said that their application was withdrawn. They didn't finish the whole application. It could have been a glitch in your computer. And now you're denying yourself of thousands of dollars because it says your application was withdrawn or incomplete, and you thinking it's because of your credit. Do not assume anything. Go off of facts. Always go off of facts when dealing in business. We got another question here. So you say you can do it if you pay booth rent. Yes, if you pay booth rent, but you go and you file your taxes as a sole proprietor and you file an income, you can file for this under your Social Security number. Because you are an independent contractor. You are a sole proprietor who uses their name and Social Security number as their business. So yes, I would encourage you, because I think I'm almost positive you braid hair. So if you file your income taxes and you file pre-pandemic, I would apply for EIDL. This is the easiest money, the easiest loan that you could get in your life. So this is your time to level up and to do what you need to do to move your business forward. And if you want to become an LLC or you want to become an S corporation and you don't want to continue to work under your name, then this is the opportunity, and they're going to give you the funds, the operating funds to do this for 24 months. Do not listen to people who know nothing about nothing. So again, you do not have to have your name in lights or in an LLC to get this money. You can use your Social Security number. It's right there on the application. If you don't believe me, go to the application. It says right there, SSN, Social Security number. That's what you're going to enter in. And they're going to pull your transcript and verify it. So don't take my word for it. Go to the SBA website, sba.gov. Go under their frequently asked questions. Go to the actual application and see if you can type in your Social Security number. Good luck, and I hope that everybody turns this pandemic into a bandemic, considering they got a new strain out. They are blocking travel from South Africa right now because there's a new strain out. Guess what? If you want to be stuck on the sideline with no money, guess what? That might be you, but some people are trying to level up. Some people are trying to survive. Some people are trying to keep their business open, whether they be a sole proprietor or LLC or S Corp. They want to stay in business. And so get out of thinking that you're in business because you don't have an LLC. That does not make you a legitimate business. There's a lot of people that don't even have a business, but yeah, they own a LLC. They name on the Secretary of State website, but they ain't got nothing going on. So especially don't listen to those people. And you don't know what this new strain of COVID is going to do. If we're going to go into another world shutdown, how long? Remember, no payments for 18 months if you take the loan now. If you took it last year, they gave you a 24-month deferment of payments. There's no prepayment penalty. So people are paying, even if you don't want to take the larger amount. Some people get scared about the larger amount. But if you take $10,000 at the 3.75, your payments are $70 a month. Who can't afford to pay $70 a month on $10,000? And what could $10,000 do for your business for you to only have to pay back $70 per month that are due in 18 months? You can flip that $10,000, pay the $10,000 back, and have change left over by the time 18 months is over before your first payment is even due. And there's no prepayment penalty. Are they accruing interest down? Yes, but it's very minimum interest because the interest rate is so low. And then guess what? If they come back and tell people, hey, you don't have to pay this money back, and you didn't listen to, people that know, then guess what? You're going to be in the cold and you're going to be like, man, how did they get more free money? Because people are taking chances. People are looking. People are listening. People are reading. People are understanding what is going on around them. So these midterm elections are coming up and people are really saying, if you want my vote, I need you to do X, Y, Z. And small businesses employ more people in the United States than big businesses. So politicians know that. They know that they need the votes of small business owners. And these small business owners that are really in the know, and some of your larger corporations too, they are paying lobbyists and different people to get this money, either going to 1% interest or get it forgiven or no interest at all. But you don't want to miss out on an opportunity because you were not able to get in because you were listening to people who know nothing about nothing. Have a great night, and I wish you luck, and fill out your application with your Social Security number if you are a sole proprietor.